So I have a tool addiction. Big tools, little tools, metal tools, plastic tools, shiny tools. I love them all. Think about them all the time. The problem is, tools are expensive. So what can I do? Robbing a bank was out because I missed my grandchildren way too much if I was in jail for 10 to 20 years. I thought about becoming a model, but my wife said that the other models would get jealous and be mean to me, and I don't like drama. So what can I do? I decided to start building things that I could sell. So whether you want tools, vacations, pocket money, or a $250 a gallon popcorn that has gold dust sprinkled on it, seriously, that's the thing. You can build projects to fund whatever kind of crazy ideas that you have. And here is my top 5 woodworking projects that sell. Number 1, outdoor side table. My wife likes to take things and set them on top of other things. So it only made sense that other people would too. So I thought, why not build one of those things that people like to take other things and sit on top of? As it turns out, people have a lot of things, but not enough things to set those things on top of. Because I sold a lot of these things. They are super easy to make. Only takes 4 2x4x8s and one 12-foot 5/4 deck board, some glue, and a few screws. I got to where I can build and finish one of these things in just over an hour. These are great for decks, porches, and patios. Even sold one to a lady who used it as a sofa table put behind a bench that we'll talk about later. It was really nice. I'll leave links to build videos and plans to this project and all the rest that we'll talk about later. Just remember, a couple of these videos were the first ones that I made, so be kind to me when you watch them. Number 2, planter box. I wanted to grow herbs to make my own spaghetti sauce. As I was walking around my yard looking for a place to plant some, I realized that I really didn't want to get down on my hands and knees and crawl around in the yard. I mean, first you have to get down there, then you have to get back up. Why would I do that to myself? So I decided to bring the ground to me. These are also easy to make using 9 2x4x8s, some glue, and a few screws. You can easily build and finish one of these in about 3 hours or so. Being a little bit taller and shallower than most, these really stand out in the crowd. I even put some plastic backsplash around one, make it look a little different, and the people really liked it. Although these are great for any outdoor space, they really shine in an apartment building where outdoor personal space is very limited. And the shelf on the bottom gives a great place to store all gardening supplies. Oh, and by the way, they work great on flowers too. Number 3, outdoor garbage can enclosure. There are 3 things to know about me. Number 1, I can't stand to have trash in my truck. Number 2, I'm all about making things easier. And number 3, this is my natural hair color. Every time I had a bottle of water or a snack in my truck, I had to carry that all the way into my house and throw it away like some kind of an animal. Who wants to do that? Apparently a lot of people don't, because these things go pretty quickly. Designed to hold a standard 13-gallon kitchen trash can, they are easy to build, but they can take a little more time. Made out of 10 1x4x8s that need to be rounded over. And when you add a top that needs to be glued up, don't expect to knock one of these out in a couple hours. It's going to take some time. How much time depends on whether or not you have a router table. If you don't, you might want to make some money with the other plans and buy one before you tackle this one. These work well in carports, garages, patios, and decks. They also do a great job of keeping animals out of things you don't want them in. We'll talk more about that with the next one. Number 4, outdoor storage. I have 2 big dogs. Now bigger than that. That's about right. They weigh almost 90 pounds each. Anyway, we kept their food in a plastic container hidden behind the bench that we'll talk about next. And it worked great for a couple of years until my neighbor got a new dog. And that dog kept coming to my house and carrying my container off. So I thought, hey, why don't I build something that he can't get into? And it worked. And I thought, hey, maybe other people have things they want to keep safe outside too. And they did. It's funny how that works sometimes. Made from 15 2x4x8s that need to be ripped down and rounded over, along with a top that needs to be put together. This too is a project that will take some time. So just like the garbage can, you may want to wait until you have a router table before you tackle this one too. These work great for anybody that has anything that they don't want animals to get into or anything that they don't want lost. From dog food to toys to pool chemicals to a cooler. People have found a lot of uses for this thing. And number 5, garden bench with a table. I saved the best for last, and I'm not even going to make a joke about this one. People love these things. I have sold more of these than anything else that I have ever designed. They are easy to make using 8 1x4x8s and 8 2x4x8s. I sold so many of these that I made a jig to speed up the process. I designed these so that a lot of the cuts were the same length, to make them even faster to build. And after you build a couple of these to figure out your workflow, you can easily knock one of these out in just over a couple of hours. These are perfect for porches, patios, decks, under a tree, or even out in the middle of a garden. Just warn your customers to watch out for bird poop if they put them underneath the tree. I sold one of these to a guy who wanted to put it on a porch to make his house look better to sell. He was the worst customer ever, but I'll tell you about him later. That's a great story, so make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss it. And click this video right here to see my latest design. It could change your life.